PlayStation vs Xbox, Sony vs Microsoft, blue vs green. For years we've been fighting over who's better, so who really is better? Today I dive into the statistics of these two consoles to determine who is truly the best. For the most part, they're nearly identical throughout the generations. However, with the latest generation, Xbox has slightly better graphics, like 3% better, and it has more storage, 17.5% more storage to be specific. However, the PS5 game loading and downloading times are a lot quicker, so they both have small advantages over one another. Also, real quick, I gotta put this out there. If you're gonna go on YouTube and watch loading time comparison videos, please pay attention. I saw one guy being hella biased. He loaded a shitty 2D game on Xbox and then Elden Ring on PS5 and he's like, whoa, Xbox is way quicker. No shit, it was a hella unfair comparison. So I'm just saying, keep that in mind if you are going to look at these loading times to compare. So to be fair and unbiased, since they're both a bit better in different areas, I'm going to have to call this one a draw. To some, this may seem unfairly specific, but my opinion is totally valid. Sometimes I like running older games. Being a mainly PC user, it's fairly easy for me to do so. Just download an old game, run it, nice and simple. Fortunately, PS5 users aren't so lucky. It has backward compatibility with games from the PS4, but that's the limit. So to play games before that, you need to pay for their online subscription. Whereas the Xbox Series X has compatibility further back. So Xbox gets the point here. As mentioned before, you can play some of the older games on by purchasing their subscriptions, but I'm not counting the online service game availability here. This is just like the base console itself. Which exclusives are better are totally opinionated, so determine which is actually better here. I'm going to simply go based off which has more sales. I feel like that's a fair way to gauge which is better. I've looked at the top 10 selling franchises for each side, and while Halo, which is Xbox obviously, has more sales than any other single Xbox or PlayStation franchise, PlayStation's top 10 exclusives have more sold copies overall than Xbox's top 10. And a side fun fact, Nintendo has more high selling franchises than Xbox and PlayStation, and I'm pretty sure even combined. Although in my opinion their exclusives aren't that good, well, as good as Xbox and PlayStation at least. So PlayStation having a higher average than Xbox does, and I have to give the point to PlayStation. If you made this far into the video, you most likely genuinely care about the content, which I ask if you could please like and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. It takes a little bit of your time, but let's not drag this on and get back to the video. Overall, PlayStation Plus is a little bit more pricey. However, if all you care about is online multiplayer, then PlayStation is cheaper. To play Xbox Online, at least at the time of recording, is $15 Australian for Xbox, but for PlayStation it's only $11 Australian. However, the general overall value is better for Xbox. Not only is it cheaper than PlayStation, they have better game options, and I'm pretty sure way more game options, better device compatibility, and more. Quite often there are deals like buy this and you get a month free of Game Pass or vice versa. In fact, I've gotten free Game Pass months quite a few times from random digital purchases. Disco Nitro. I don't really know what I'm getting to here, but you don't really see that with PlayStation Plus. In my opinion, the main reason people get their subscriptions is for online play. Most people don't really care about the other benefits, at least not as much as online play, so PlayStation is better for that since it's a bit cheaper. However, like I said, Xbox has greater overall value, so again, I'm gonna have to call this one a draw. The design of controllers, it's totally opinionated. As I mentioned before, I don't want my opinion to determine what is better, although we all are entitled to our own opinion obviously. Sorry, but you have to give PlayStation the win here. They've always had slightly better controllers and features than Xbox, but especially the PS5 is better than ever. The touchpad, the mic, the speakers, haptic feedback, all these features that the Series X doesn't have. And the other thing to mention is that Xbox still use batteries, which to some people is a good thing, which I kind of understand because you don't have to worry about charging and all the time and the charge lasts longer. But honestly, if you play so many games in a single sitting that your controller runs out of charge, you're the issue, because that is way too much gaming for one sitting. If you don't have enough chargers for as many controllers as you have, then just buy more cables. They're like $2 online, so charge really shouldn't be that much of an issue. For anyone who thinks that controllers isn't fair to use as a point for rating, in my opinion it's totally fair, because the controller is half the gaming experience. Features of the controller, the size, the feel, the build, etc. So as mentioned, since PlayStation has more controller features, point goes goes to PlayStation here. As you can see from the counter on screen, PlayStation is the winner here. However, I have some extra things I want to go over. But before I do, I have to clarify. I'm not making this video and these points trying to be dipshit. I'm not saying PlayStation players are better than Xbox. I'm not saying to sell your Xbox and go get a PlayStation. If you want to buy an Xbox, go ahead. If you prefer the exclusives or want both exclusives, or your friends use Xbox, or whatever the reason is, please be my guest. Honestly, this whole fight is so stupid. You buy this console or you buy that console. Who gives a shit, honestly? If you clicked on this video with an extreme bias, looking for drama, please just piss off. I know that sounds really rude and I shouldn't be really saying that to my viewers, but it's so unnecessary to seek drama. Plus, at the end of the day, PC is better than both of them. We got all the exclusives. If you could afford it, better specs, loading time, everything. Now for the extra stuff I want to mention. First of all, PlayStation has always sold more consoles than Xbox. Well, almost always. So those stats kind of prove that PlayStation is more desired. That doesn't necessarily mean they're better because of that. It just means they're more sought after. Also, the digital PS5. I think it's a genius idea. It gives people a cheaper option if you're only buying games online. In 2023, most people don't really buy discs anymore. So that's a great option for those kinds of people, which unfortunately Xbox doesn't have that option. However, hopefully it will happen in future Xbox consoles. Although, seeing how stubborn these guys are with the batteries, I know they signed a contract for it all, but I don't really know if it will happen, but hopefully it does. Another thing is the Xbox app on PC. That's one thing Xbox has that PlayStation doesn't. It allows for cross-platform for Windows users and Xbox users. I know no one asked, but a perfect example is Ark Survival Evolved. Me and my brother wanted to play Ark for quite a bit. If he had an Xbox, I'm on PC, we could easily crossplay, but because he uses PlayStation, we can't crossplay. But also, being able to get the Game Pass on PC is really good for PC users. If I wanted, I could have access to all these games for a really cheap price on PC. I know I've been mentioning that I'm a PC user, but I still love to play console occasionally, and I mained console for quite a few years before getting my PC. So I do have experience in both areas. Now, you know I have to mention the design difference, at least between the Series X and the PS5. Since it's opinionated, I couldn't use it for points. Personally, I do think the PS5 design is hella wonky, but I'd rather this kind of futuristic kind of design than just a giant bulky rectangle box. The Series X might be better for smaller TV cabinets, but the PS5 is cooler in my opinion. Plus, if you don't like the white, then you can just get black plates and swap it out to better suit your setup. Comment down below which design you prefer, the PS5 or the Series X. All that way, I will catch you all next time. Have a good one.